from Life in Layouts, and thanks for joining me for another monthly celebration. I'm so excited to be bringing you this layout today. I am going to be using this imagination paper collection from PhotoPlay, and it is just a fun collection. I'm going to be scrapbooking these photos of our trip to Chicago, and one of the things that we did was we went to a children's museum, and part of the museum is they have a class that you can take to make these paper airplanes. So the boys had so much fun, and they each got to create a paper airplane, and I love the way that these photos turned out. I am using a sketch by Scrapbook Generation. However, this is a paid sketch. It is a sketch that is focusing on using 3x4 photos and 3x4 cards, which I haven't had a chance to play around with it. I believe it was a 10 pack, meaning that you got 10 sketches. And so I really wanted to use it with this particular layout. So I can't show you the sketch because it's paid, but I will link below the sketch pack so that if you want to get this as well as the other ones, you can purchase that from Scrapbook Generation. So I had printed some of my photos down in a 3x4, but this sketch calls for most of the photos to be 4x3, so horizontal instead of vertical. And some of my photos were 3x4, the portrait. So on either side of the sketch or the layout, it calls for a ton of strips of paper. And so that's really what drew me to this particular sketch, because I wanted to showcase all of this paper from this paper collection, and I just loved all of the different bright and fun colors. So I'm just going through the papers and cutting them out. I do end up using some of them and not using all of them, just making sure that they all kind of flow together. This green paper I really liked the best, and that's why I made it a little bit larger than everything else. And it just has a bunch of different fun sayings on it. It says child, jump, game, believe, so rad. So I really like the wording on that. I am using a green colored cardstock. If you guys follow my channel, you'll know that in the past I have said that I am trying to get rid of, use up my cardstock and trying to avoid using white, because white is an easy color to use and it, matches everything. But I have tons and tons of cardstock and I want to start to get them used up. So I really am focusing on trying to get them put in my layout so they're not just taking up space in my scrapbook room. So the page is starting to come together, and I felt like I needed a dark color on either side to ground the layout. So that's why I pulled out this space paper and used that at both ends of the page. Most of these pieces are cut at 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch, and some of them are just cut like that plus sign paper. I didn't even measure that one. I just made sure that there was just one row of plus signs. I will tell you that the biggest piece, that one that is in the dark blue, that one is 6.5 inches. And there's going to be one 4x6 photo over there that's really showcased. So that's why that's the biggest piece. But all the other little pieces are just kind of whatever I felt like would work, little and small photos. So the sketch calls for you to cut down the photos or all of the pattern paper to the size of your mat that you make there in the center. So I believe it ended up being 9.5 inches. So I'm cutting down all of the paper to so that it's a straight line. And I really like that because it gives it a lot of white space all the way around the layout. It frames all of the photos, but the white space isn't so overpowering that it seems like it's more white space than photos. So I really like the way that turned out. So I want encourage you guys to go check out all of the other ladies. There are tons of inspiration this month for the monthly celebration. And I am also going to be hopping along with you guys and checking out all of the videos because I love to see what everybody else does in regards to what they're celebrating this month. And so what I'm celebrating it's a little different. My nephew is, his birthday is today and he's in there. So I wanted to celebrate him, but I didn't want to do just a typical layout, maybe his birthday layout or something like that. And then I really got to thinking about it and I was like, I have done layouts with just him before, and truly what I want to celebrate is my nephews. And having those boys in my life is just an amazing thing. I love being an aunt. I love being a part of their lives and watching them grow. And so that's what I'm celebrating this month. So kind of a little bit of different celebration, but definitely something to celebrate because being an aunt is an amazing thing. You don't have to parent them, but you do have to, get to do all the fun stuff with them as being an aunt. So that's what I am doing, and that's what I'm celebrating this month. So I got everything laid down. I used Salty Ocean to distress all of the edges of the paper and then adhered everything down. And for some reason, the paper wasn't the right size at the top. So I just used my T-square ruler and my X-Acto knife and cut off. It was like such a small piece. It probably less than 1/4 of an inch. And if you go lightly over your paper, you can get the top layer, but not the background cardstock. So if you ever have a piece that you just need to get taken off, just use that X-Acto knife. Just make sure you don't push very far down because you can obviously cut the background paper as well. So this photo on the right, I felt like it was getting lost, so I went ahead and mounted it on a white piece of cardstock and gave it a little bit of border, and I think that really makes it pop against that word paper. And I do go ahead and use Fun Foam on that to pop it up. So off camera, I went ahead and added a little bit of stitching. I hadn't done that in a while, and so I wanted to put something fresh and new on my layout. So I just stitched a line down the 3 straight lines down the layout. And what I'm doing now is pulling all of the threads to the back and then using some washi tape to make sure that they stay in place. So I will hold that up to the camera for you guys to check out, but you can also see them in the close-up photos at the end. So after I get all of that down, the fun part begins and I get to embellish, which is my favorite part because you can do so much with it. So even though we're making paper airplanes, I thought that these little robots were so cute and I pulled them out. Now there's only one robot in this particular collection, but these colors also match the Echo Park. Imagine that. So I have those stickers. So I pull those out as well to add to it. So this sticker here that I'm adding, it says the amazing power of your mind, because that truly is what the boys are doing. They are following instructions on how to make it, but you can make your paper airplane however creative you would like. So once I get each one of those down, I did find a paper airplane, so I was so excited about that as well to add that little texture to it. So I put that right above the power, the amazing power of your mind. And I'm just adding a few more stars to the layout. And then this is where I'm going to pull out my embellishment book, where I have the Echo Park sticker collection there. And I'm using this Imagination as part of my title. And I love that banner. I think that it's so awesome, right there in the corner there. I did feel like I wanted a little bit more texture, so I added a couple pieces of wood veneer. And this one here, the little scallop says Dream Big, and then I'm also going to add a ribbon that says number 1 on it. So technically I only have 2 clusters in this layout, but I feel like that is enough. So I have that cluster on the far left hand side and then the one right there next to my photo on the right. And I think that it turned out perfectly. I don't feel like I needed a 3rd cluster. So my title is going to be Powered by Imagination. So I'm going to go ahead and use these Ellie Studio Puffy stickers, and then some basic gray little red stickers for the word buy. And then that is it for my layout, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and here are some close-ups as well as my final layout. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a scrappy day.